Knicks family, what's poppin'? Frankie erupts. Knox has a big game. Fizdale ejected. But it was a pretty feel-good loss. What's poppin', Knicks family? Feel-good loss. Yep, it was. It was a pretty feel-good loss. I think even the Knicks felt good about it. You seen Courtney Lee, celebrate when he finally made a bucket. A feel-good loss in the sense that the Fizz kids played well, right? Young guys. You seen some of the development of some of the young guys. They did, some of the things that at least the coach is asking them to do. All right, so that's definitely a confidence booster for them, and it allows fans like us to feel good, feel like, okay, something is happening here. That's really all we're asking for. It's for something to happen, that we see something happening. We see some development. We see some principles out there on the floor. Defensively, we're horrible. We'll be last in the league soon. Trust me. We'll be last in the league. And I know there's a little bit of maybe too many S's on my microphone. Dan told me about it earlier. I'm going to, I'm adjust it. Just couldn't adjust it tonight, but it'll be adjusted by the next stream. But anyway, we've seen some positive things tonight amidst the loss. We've seen some very positive things. Of course, Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox. Let's talk to the chat. Let the chat get a quick word in, and then we'll recap, do a game summary. All right. Want to find out what you guys think? Viv, We got Guillermo, we got Davon. I got all of you unmuted. All right. So,
okay.
What's popping with you fellas? What do you think about tonight's game? Viv, I'll start with you. What do you think about tonight's game?
A lot of encouraging moments, despite the blowout. Even though we lost by 12, it was pretty ugly the entire game. And I think the most important part is, even though we were losing games, if we see some positive steps in our players, I think that really makes a lot of difference going forward. And whether it's Vonleh, Frank, Knox, Dot, whoever it is, right? So
right.
We saw that progress, and I think that's we can't ask for any more than that. So we have to be encouraged.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it's supposed to be about, right? Supposed to be about the development of these guys. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be this season. That's what everyone keeps saying. It's the development of these guys. The development. That's what it's supposed to be. And so when you can see some of that happening, naturally you're gonna get excited about it, right? Positive things. Although we took a loss, and there was a lot of negative things about the loss. Trust me. And we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna talk about it. But we've seen some good things out there. Guillermo, what do you think, man?
Can you hear me, Sim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear me? I liked what I saw regards to Knox and Frank. Frank being more confident in his ISO sets. He did come around like a few picks and shoot the little mid-range. His three looked sharp tonight, but our defense was pitiful. And again, Sim, I think Fizdale, I'm not going to say he's over his head, but I just don't like what he's doing coaching-wise. I think even with some teams that you see where they don't have the most talented guys, you see guys in perpetual motion, at least on the weak side, and literally only 2 or 3 guys at most are moving around in this offense. So I just wasn't. I wasn't too happy with the coaching, but you saw some development with Knox and Frank. So I guess that's a positive.
And we had 28 assists, which is kind of crazy, even without that weak side action.
Right.
I mean, but I don't know what the Hornets' defensive rating is. I know they're one of the top, I think, in scoring. Actually, I don't know how, but yeah, we have these flashes of games, but again, we just defense was the main issue. So let me not rant on. Defense was the main issue, and I'm still like I'm not too happy with Fizdale's overall coaching so far, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying about Fizz. Davon, go ahead.
Can you hear me, Sim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, overall, like I said, like you were saying, Knox, Ntlikina, they played good, seen some flashes, seen a little bit, Frank, it's good to see him out there, making some buckets, shooting some good, making some threes. It's ironic, though, that he has one of his best offensive games, and then he has one of his worst defensive games of his career. So, I mean, it was good seeing him at least on the offensive side, making some buckets. Because we know the defense isn't going to be like that every game. We know that's what he can do. So it was good seeing that. It was good seeing Knox being aggressive. It seems like he's fitting in. He's finally, he's like he knows he's in the NBA now. He knows what he needs to do, and he knows, he's not playing nervous or scared, or he's playing a little bit more fearless. He's not, giving. What I thought Frank did tonight, Knox isn't do. I think Frank tonight he gave Tony Parker, being that's one of his idols, he gave him a little too much respect.
I think so.
A little too much respect. I feel like he should have been trying to get into him.
Well, but, Parker outclassed him, I think. So
yeah,
that was a problem.
And other than that, I don't want to be negative, be a negative person. There was a lot of negativity out there. I mean, things that we can't be negative about. Overall, like you said, it's a development year. So when we see players like Knox, have a good game, and Ntilikina have a good game, it's a good win for the fans. It's a good win for the team.
Right.
Win or loss. Yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say about the.
I think this, and this is my opinion, with Frank, because we're seeing Frank get beat off the dribble a lot more this year than we did last year, right? We seen it last game. He got beat off the dribble a few times. We seen it tonight. He got beat off the dribble a few times. I think he's still a very good defender.
Of course.
But I think what's going on is that guys are just a little bit more crafty. Exactly. Guys are just a little bit more crafty than him, and they can recognize when his feet aren't fully set, or when he's giving them when he's giving them a lane. They're just a little bit more crafty and smarter than him in how to position themselves to be able to get to the basket. And that's going to be something that I think he needs to, he's going to have, is going to, experience.
Another thing that I noticed, about Frank's defense, since we're on that topic, I think as he plays a little bit more, and saying last year he played a lot more with Porzingis, he knew Porzingis had his back there, so he was a little bit more aggressive on defense, being up into the player a little bit more. As far as, this year, he's been playing with Cantor and Mitchell Robinson, who is a great defender, who can, protect the rim, but I feel like he felt a little bit more comfortable, knowing that, Porzingis had his back there over, the guys that are back there right now protecting the rim.
Okay. I also think that because teams know that he's a good defender, right, they send more screens to, whoever is guarding him. So there's two things that I think happens. One, they do know that Frank switches a lot, right? Frank is one of those guys that switches easy, in my opinion. So he switches more than I would like him to. And then they know that he's a good on-ball defender, so they send screens. And now he has to fight over the screen.
Right. So, quick question, Sam. On that, do you think Frank switches a lot because it's, part of the game plan? Is it him? Or do you feel like, or does he feel that he's that confident that I can switch, I can guard the next person?
I think it's design.
Yeah, I think it's design.
Yeah, they had it last year too. Maybe he did switch a bunch last year as well.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Sam, just to get to your point about Frank defending, I'll say two things. I think one, it's also your growth. This guy's still a growing kid, so his quick twitch muscles around the hip area might be growing, so it might be a little bit. He has to get used to it. Also, he looks a little bit more top heavy this year, so I think he's bulking up a little bit. And that when you get a little bit more top heavy versus all around functional muscle around your whole body, and obviously you're not lifting too heavy with your legs during the season. I think that's kind of throwing his balance a little bit off. Because like if you look at his shoulders, look at his arms, there's more depth, and that helps with his shooting. But I mean, it'll come. I just hope that the benching didn't get to his defense, because he worked the opposite way, where it was like your defense should allow you to shoot more.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't get benched for it. You should be kind of just reinvigorated, kind of rewarded for it. But hopefully it doesn't get his confidence. Now, I will say this: if we see this persist in a season where he's actually getting his offense in and he's dictating the offense too, like I said before, I made the comment that this team is weird because our best defensive player is not our loudest, and our loudest player is not our best defensive player or probably our best player, period. Right. If he can develop into an offensive player that I guess Fizz wants to see, and he can keep up that defense, I think he'd be a leader on this team. Now, I know people could say, oh, he sucks, whatever. I really don't care what you say. I think that this kid, if he can be that way on both sides of the ball, and you get rid of, say, Tim Hardaway mid-season or by the trade deadline, I think he could be that type of vocal leader on this team, man.
Yeah,
so.
I think he can.
Now,
let me just
hold on before we move on to we use the last two games as like before we use it as a benchmark for how Frank is doing. Let's put some things into perspective. In my opinion, I think what people fail to realize is that Spencer Dinwiddie has one of the fastest first steps in the league, so he's going to beat a lot of players on defense. Even if they're going to be good to above average defenders, great defenders, especially a guy like Frank. But Frank's not the fastest player. But when you have someone that has a first step like Spencer Dinwiddie does, he's going to cause a lot of problems. He's going to get to the paint a lot more effectively. So it's going to require a lot of help defense to mitigate his game rather than stopping him one-on-one. Yeah. And with Tony Parker, it's really that's just more of him using his quickness at such he's being in the league that long, he's very crafty, and just the combination of those two things is just that's going to give anybody a fit.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Before we harp on it too much, it's just we should put those things into perspective in the grand scheme of things. Before we
Yeah, but I just think that this year I've seen him get beat off the dribble more than last year, and I think there's some factors that go into it. Like Guillermo said, he's a little bit more top heavy.
Right? But what it is, Sim, is that now they have a report on him.
Yeah, right. So, that's what we were saying. People know that he's a defender, so now they pay attention to him a little more. They see if his feet is out of position. Yeah. They're a little bit smarter than him. People that's been in the league for a while, and they can get past them.
It happens to everybody.
They understand this.
One thing that he does that I know like some good defenders do, even when they get beat, what he does is kind of like this like revolve around the world thing, where it's like he'll let you kind of beat him to the rim, especially if he's close, but he kind of rotates his body so it's like even as you go up, once you commit, he kind of has his hands in a perfect place to kind of like defend it. And so like there was a play where he had on Kemba, right? Kemba beat him to his right. And he got him, but he knew that he was beat, but he kind of like concedes, all right, I'm gonna let you beat me off the step, but I'm gonna get to the spot quick enough so that once you get up in the air, my hands are up and I could block the crap out of your ball. It'll be hard for you to get the ball up. So I'm not saying it's a laziness thing, but you still see the instincts there. And I think it could be the top heavy thing, but I think it's also confidence. Like he just has to get that confidence. And the only thing that I'm worried about is that the way that they play overseas international in terms of confidence is a team thing, right? So you see these guys, they'll get their confidence up when they're throwing alleys, doing this, getting a pick and roll working right. In America, it seems like guys get their confidence for Fizdale where you get ISO game working on. And I think that he doesn't have his ISO game working. He can lose confidence easily. If he had a system making the right play, Ron James, he will still have that confidence regardless because he's making the right plays in a system. So that's why I Fizdale that this guy needs a freaking coach. He stopped getting so mad that guys and go 1-1 and ISO 30 points a game.
Yeah. So I mean, and look, Chris Carby said, "Can we move on from Frank?" No, Frank is obviously going to be a storyliner tonight. So we're going to talk about Frank. I mean, clearly he's going to be a storyliner tonight. This is our team. He's part of our team. Other players are going to be a storyline as well. So no, we're not going to move on from him. We're going to continue our conversation because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people that want to talk about it throughout the night because he played well. Right now, we're talking about some of the things we're seeing on the defensive side. So yeah, there we go.
Wait, who does that guy talk about? Like, Frank was one of the more dynamic players tonight. It's not as if he was a DMP and we're still talking about him. The kid who everybody was talking about, this guy, Walt Pipe Frazier, was upset that no one told him that, or reminded him that, hey, you got 5 fouls. You're hot right now. Stay in the game. You know, use your offense to make a little comeback. Who else are we going to talk about tonight besides him and Knox?
Yeah, him.
Yo, I didn't know Knox had 15 rebounds though.
Knox had 15 rebounds tonight, man. That's we need that from Knox so much. We've got to have those rebounds, and he gave it to us tonight. He's beginning to, he's starting to come into his game. He's getting a little bit more comfortable. You know what I mean?
He's more comfortable where he needs to be on the floor.
Yeah. Let me run down a little bit of summary of the game. All right, so Chris Carby can feel a little happier that we're not just talking about Frank, although Frank's name is going to come up in the summary of the game. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick rundown. All right, Chris, we're going to do that for you, my man. The Knicks were basically, we were outscored every quarter except for the fourth quarter. Listen, I say what? Tim Hardaway said it the other night. We're not going to win games until our defense changes. You know, it's just not going to happen. And I mean, he's the guy. I mean, it's coming from him, right? But but he's right about it. And we got to find a way to start. Even if we don't win games, we just got to find a way to start getting stops, making it tough on other teams because it's like we're scrimmaging out there. It's never tough. It's like we're scrimmaging. You know what I mean? And it bothers me so much, that is this way. And like he said, we can't continue. We can't give up 30 points every quarter and think we're gonna do something. We gave up 27 points in the first quarter, 27-24. Second quarter, 34-23. Third quarter, 38-31. We actually won the fourth quarter, 29-20. Basically, it was garbage time. Right? Scrolling down, we look at, the Hornets' biggest lead was 28. The Knicks never led. Wire-to-wire victory by the Charlotte Hornets tonight. The Knicks, was close on the boards, 41-42. We had 28 assists tonight. The Hornets had 19. 5 steals, 2 blocks. We had 17 turnovers tonight. We shot 47% from the field. The Hornets shot 48%. We shot 50% from 3. Hornets 35%. Of course, Frank made a few threes tonight. He was, he found his stroke a little bit tonight. Free throws, 85% from the free throw. Well, we only went to the line 7 times tonight. 7 times. We went to the line 7 times tonight. And the Charlotte Hornets went to the line 27 times. They were 23 for 27. Take a quick look at the box score. For the Knicks, Mario Hezonja only played 4 minutes. It looks like maybe there's going to be a lineup change there. Kevin Knox started the second half in lieu of Mario Hezonja. So it looks like maybe there's another lineup change coming. Mario Hezonja may go from starting to DNP. We'll see how that goes. Noah Vonleh, 29 minutes, 3 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists tonight. 9 assists for Noah Vonleh. And that's Cantor, 18 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Tim Hardaway Jr., 21 points, 5 assists, had 5 turnovers. He shot 53.8% from the field tonight. Emmanuel Mudiay played 19 minutes, 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Kevin Knox, 26 points. He was 40% from the field, 15 rebounds. No turnovers. Had 1 steal. Frank Ntilikina, 20 minutes. Kevin Knox played 41 minutes tonight. 41 minutes for Kevin Knox tonight. Frank Ntilikina played 20 minutes. He was 18 points, 7 for 11 from the field. Had no rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. He was 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. Mitchell Robinson, 18 minutes. And of course, Frank Ntilikina, as you know, fouled out. Mitchell Robinson, 18 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. Damian Dotson, another solid game. 12 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Courtney Lee had 4 points. Ron Baker had 5 points. I mean, you know, some things look encouraging when you look down, when you go down the box score and you see some of these numbers. But we can't do it on the defensive side of the ball. We just can't. Kemba Walker tonight, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Jeremy Lamb, 19 points, 5 rebounds. Cody Zeller, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Marvin Williams, 13 points. Tony Parker killed us tonight, had 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Malik Monk had 9 points. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist had 8 points. Miles Bridges didn't really do much. Played 22 minutes, had 4 points. Frank Kaminsky didn't do much. But we just couldn't stop these guys. They shot 48% from the field, 35% from the 3. We let guys, you know, score in the paint. As usual, we let guys get inside the paint and score on us. You know, that's a usual thing for the Knicks. Usual thing. And before I go any further, I want to give a big shout out to Brandon McNeely. Happy birthday. It's his birthday today. So please, you know, give Brandon a big happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. I'm not sure. Hey, Brandon, how old are you? How old are you turning? How old did you turn today? We'd like to know. But big shout out to Brandon McNeely for having a birthday today. All right. So my question to the chat, and it looks like maybe Chris Carby decided to, maybe he logged off. I don't know. But Chris, we're about to get back to Frank Ntilikina. Okay? Because I want to know. I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, do you think that Frank can continue this play? Can he continue to play this way? You know,
fellas.
You know, it's outside of Frank's character to be this type of a player. You know, he doesn't always play this way. We know that. It's outside of what he does. Can he continue? Has he learned? He had a quick trigger. Once he seen a couple of shots go down, Frank had a quick trigger. He wasn't thinking about shooting the ball. He just shot it. He made his decision. He made the decision to shoot. He said, I'm going to shoot the ball and I'll live with the results. And as a result, you could see he was more definitive when he decided. He was more definitive to shoot the ball. He wasn't catching the ball looking to see who he was going to get the ball to. He was definitive. I'm shooting it. I'm going to shoot the ball. Right? Is it really a new Frank, or is it just tonight? It's going to be a work in development. There's going to be nights when, you know, he does it, and nights that he doesn't do it. This is what Fizdale wants. We know that. This is what Fizdale wants. Right? He doesn't want the floor general. I don't think. I think he wants the quick trigger guy, or quicker trigger guy at least. Can Frank really do it? Can he do it consistently? I said last night that I think Frank is going to be a very good player in this league. I'm not sure if it's going to be with the New York Knicks. If he does this, then it's possible that it will be with the New York Knicks, because this is what Fizz wants, I believe. Right? He wants more of this kind of play from Frank and from all of his guards. Right? I'm not criticizing him. This is his style. That's what it is. Right? So that's my question. And Troy Flake said Frank ain't a floor general. He's not that yet, but I think he can be and will be. I think that's what he is made to be. You know what I mean? I think that's the style. I think that's what he is. I think he is. I mean, he's not that now because he doesn't have the reputation in the locker room and the confidence, and not confidence as a player. I mean, I'm saying the confidence of the maturity yet. But I think that's the type of player that he will be, in the long run. I think that's what he'll be. But you're right. He's not that right now. He clearly isn't. So let's see. Nate, I seen you had your hand raised. What's good, man? What do you think?
I agree. I think he is getting better at being more assertive and aggressive in his scoring ability. Mm-hmm. And I think the next step will be to be more of the playmaker style, to get more players involved. I still think he's a good passer, but he just needs to do it more consistently.
Right.
But his offense will dictate.
But can he continue to do it this way for the season? He's not going to score 18 every night. 18 is his 18 is Frank's career high. He could have had 20. They took him, they took it away from him when they gave him that offensive foul. That was a garbage call. And maybe he could have had more than 20 tonight. Frank hasn't scored 20 in his career yet. He will. I think he will this season, possibly. But can he continue to play? He had a quick trigger tonight, at least in that third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, he had a quick trigger. He wasn't thinking about it. He made up his mind that he was going to shoot, and he did it. Can he continue to play that way?
Yes, he can, because he is probably the closest complete point guard we have on the team. And just watching him in that game before against the Nets, mm-hmm. he's getting more aggressive. You just have to be patient with him. And I think with the Knicks fans, they want this instant gratification on him to score like 20 points a game. That's not his game. But I tell you what, he's big time when the game matters the most. Just look at that fourth quarter game against the Nets. He made the passes right. He made some shots. I mean, the guy's not afraid at the big time.
Okay. And I think with him, okay. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see who we got here. Hey, my man right here. What's poppin', man? I forgot your name now. Haven't seen you in the chat in a minute.
Me?
Yeah.
It's Karim.
Karim, yeah. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's your take? What's your take on the game? Your take on the game, Frank? Can Frank continue to play this style?
Yes, he can. Of course, he can. He's the prince, the fresh prince. You know what I mean? First off, I'll say, peace of the chat. I ain't been here in a minute. I'm glad to see it rolling. Last time I was here was like summer, and made some predictions. I said that I was going to make the team, and said some things about somebody that me. I compared him to C.J. McCollum, a young C.J. McCollum. I just wanted to say that. With that being said, I have to say that I disagree with a lot of stuff on here. And listening to all the shows, and I say, when I get a chance to speak, I want to make sure that I totally disagree with a lot of what I'm hearing.
Hey, one second. You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay. No,
yeah, maybe fine. If you can maybe get closer. I don't know what it is, but breaking up a little bit.
Okay, what I'm gonna say.
There we go.
Okay, a lot of you guys need to fall all the way back and understand this is a process. Don't say it, understand it. So I need to hear when we win a game, people praise Fizdale, and then when we lose, they want to throw him under the bus. If we win or if we lose, that is of no circumstance, or it doesn't matter. It's the process. People want to bury Fizdale when he gives DMPs to Ntlikina and say, "Oh, he should have brought him in at this time of the game. He left this guy in too long." Listen, he is developing players. This is not little children. He's going to come up with whatever he got to do. Every time he's benched a player and got DMPs, and he's done it to numerous players, for no reason for someone to think that he powered on Ntlikina for giving him DMP. It's his method. When these guys come back, they come back hungry. It's been proven. And every time he does that you guys don't agree with, there's something wrong with Fizdale. Listen, Fizdale was the man. Either you believe in him or you don't believe in him. He's like Mr. Miyagi. Danielson didn't know what he was doing, but he believed in the process. So I'm just so tired of everybody being so wishy-washy on Fizdale. Fall back. I'm so tired. Like, stop acting like the average New Yorker that people talk about, always complaining. These are our players. Be happy that we have players. We have young, developing players. Stop worrying about every possession, every win, and every loss. We are going to lose. We all knew that going into the season that we was going to lose. So I don't need to hear every time we lose what Fizdale could have done better to make us win. We're going to lose. Anyway, with that being said, today, I like the fact that Ntilikina, yeah, for real. No, I'm serious. Ntilikina, listen, Ntilikina is a stud. You know what I mean? It's going to take him some time. Look at Ronnie killed this last night. His third year in the league. Give this some time. When y'all saw him on the court today, he was searching for his shot. He was looking. He came back hungry. If he would have never got them DMPs and been a little bit embarrassed, these guys are prima donnas. Fizdale, he's into developing players. He was with Miami. It was a mediocre team. He was with them when it became championship contenders and champions. So he understands the entire process. He probably already knew he was going to get Frank DMPs early before the season started. He already said, listen, if this guy doesn't perform, DMP. If this guy, so he know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's working. So everybody fall back. Ntlikina looked beautiful today. And I don't care about the losses. It's about development. Think about the players that might be here next year. Knox, Robinson, of course, Porzingis. Maybe Noah Vonleh, he might get resigned. Ntlikina, Dotson, Trier. That's pretty much it. Everybody might not come back, and then we get a draft player, on a free agent, and we, that's going to be our roster. So don't look at the wins and losses. Look at the development. Stop getting caught up in the wins and losses. Ntlikina looked like he had fire in his eye. He caught that guy with that Euro step, quote unquote offensive foul. I love that. He bodied him like, yo, get off me, little dude. Like, yo, these guys are developing. We're a quarter through the season. Appreciate what you're seeing. This has never happened. As a Knicks fan, I've never seen young guys develop. Appreciate it and understand that Fizdale's going to be here. He's our Popovich. Give him time. If God is soured on the Sixers head coach, you wouldn't even, like, the Sixers head coach, like a pretty good head coach. And he lost a lot. If he was in New York, we would have ran him out of town. Like, yo, chill on Fizdale. I'm just tired of it. Chill on Fizdale. Bird, chill.
Okay. Anybody got anything they want to say to that? Guillermo? I'm coming to you, Guillermo.
Yeah, let me.
Go ahead, man. About Fizdale in regards to coaching. When they win, when they had that game in Boston, all those games where they won with a lot of ISO play, I was still critical. When they lose, I've been still critical. I said since he got here, that if you don't have a system, if you don't have a culture, especially for all these young guys, a lot of these guys are going to be lost in the sauce. So, and we see that. We see a lot of inconsistencies. One game we're saying Knox is looking like the real thing, and the next day because he has a 3 for 8 shooting night or whatever, he sucks, whatever. And I think it's because these guys, there's no system offensively. So a lot of guys, they don't really know what to be like. They might have a guy that's on them that sucks defensively, and they're going to score 26 points. They have a guy on them that defensively can shut them down, and they'll score 3 points. And then we're going with flip-flopping. But what you have with good teams, what they do is that they game plan around those people, right? They'll have it where you're coming around picks, around curls. You're doing things to kind of offset the other team's defensive ability. And I don't think that Fizdale does that enough. I think a lot of times when we do well, it's because somebody is doing well on ISO. Like, we don't have a culture or a system. That's my biggest pet peeve, or my biggest peeve with Fizdale. And I'm always going to have that win or lose. because these guys come a bunch of young kids. They don't have any direction, so their confidence is going to be like this based on how their ISO game is. So that's how I feel, and they're not getting rewarded on the defensive end because Frank was getting sat down. I know people when I talk about Frank, but Frank was getting sat down. Before last game, Dotson was sitting down in his last 5 games before that. He was averaging 15 points, so he's doing them both offensive and defensive end. So there's a lot of that whole mantra: kill what you eat or eat what you kill, whatever. It's not consistent with Fizdale. The culture's not consistent. The system's not consistent. That's my gripe with him. I'm giving him time. I'm not saying fire him. I'm not saying get rid of him. But I want to see something where I see a staple of Fizdale, where it's like that's the system. That's a Fizdale system. Whether win or lose, we can build off of that. And one more thing, Sim. I sent you an article for the idiot who said that Frank is not a floor general. I sent you the article, 2 articles on one of your last videos. I think it was on your last video, and it was from Deadspin. And it broke down how the chemistry between KP and Frank. And also, I think it mentioned how KP was like, he wants Frank on the floor. Or he wanted him on the floor. He's like, I want this guy to be the starting point guard last year when they're flip-flopping. That goes to show you that the players, or at least good players like KP, at least have some confidence in Frank's ability on both defensive and offensive end. So all the people talking about he's not a floor general, remember this, he got sat down because he was sharing the board too much. Please tell me what a floor general is before you tell me that this guy's not a floor general.
Yeah, and I think I did see that he told Hornacek that he wanted Frank to start, and obviously we seen what happened last year. And see, I agree with you, Guillermo, about just the whole thing about holding everybody accountable, because you know, if you're gonna hold one player accountable, you got to hold other players accountable. It can't be that one player, not with this team. There are certain players that in the league obviously get that type of leadway. We don't have any of them. I don't understand why Hardaway isn't being held to the same level of accountability. That's just my opinion. There's nothing that he's done in the league to be held to that type of, to be given that stature or to be given that respect, but I am trying to trust in Fizdale. I'm not saying fire Fizdale, but I am going to question when I see things that if I don't think I see the principles, that I would like to see, then I'm going to question it. Why? You know what I mean? I'm trusting in Fizdale as much as I can. I know we're only what are we right now? 8-20.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? 28 games into the season or whatever it is. Clearly, there's a lot of things that he has to work through. Mike Breen was talking about it tonight. How, there's so many different factors that, are coming into play. You got players that, they need to be on the floor so they can develop. But if they're not getting it done, you might have to sit them. And listen, we just got to admit what he's done with sitting the guys so far. We'll see if it lasts long. One with Dotson, I don't know.
Why.
To me, there wasn't a reason to sit him. He was already playing well. So I don't know if you can really put Dotson. The only thing that Dotson did is remain professional and was able to come back and continue to play well, right? But I don't think sitting him made him play better. I don't know why he was sat in the first place. Frank Ntilikina, I guess he came back and played better. Moutier never was really sat. If you think about it, he came back off an injury, and it took time to work him back into the lineup. So which players were? Trey Burke. Trey Burke was yanked and then came back and had some good games. Right. Other than that, so it really has just been Trey Burke that was yanked and then came back and had good games. And I'll be honest, I don't know if Trey Burke coming back and having good games was a result of him being yanked, or that's just Trey Burke. We seen Trey Burke come up from the G League and then come in and have good games, right? Last year, I don't know if it was because he was yanked or if it's just that's Trey Burke. But I'll just say this: he did it. Those guys have come back into the lineup and played well, so I'm gonna give him credit for it. But there's still things that I want to see.
No one's shitting on Fizdale. I think it's like we see some Oh wait, am I? Oh, hold on, not on. My bad.
Yeah, you're on. I don't know who you talking to.
I was talking to do the chat. My bad, man.
Were you talking to Kareem though? I was gonna unmute him too. If you want to have the conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
It is kind of like y'all shitting on Fizdale because y'all judging him. Y'all judging him, and it's nowhere. It's not even. It's like he's downloading everything that he is as a coach into these players, and he's like 10% into downloading, and y'all already judging.
I mean, I'm already listen. I'm not judging him as far as.
Y'all just got way too much to say. Y'all just talk.
But see, I'm not judging him as far as saying this is the end result. But I mean, any player, any coach, any person that's in the league, I think that. I think we have the right to look at the development and say.
Media. Too many of us go off of what the New York media says instead of us seeing it with our own eyes and understanding the big picture. The big picture is that it's a big chance that only maybe 5 or 6 players,
right?
5 or 6 players from this current roster will be with us next year. So Fizdale has a lot to deal with. He has to develop guys that's going to be there. He has to give guys a fair chance that he think may not be there. He got to incorporate all of that while developing these young guys. Like an NBA player, the first thing an NBA player has to learn how to do, he has to figure out what is he good at. And it might take him a year or 2 years. And then once he becomes a good player and what he's good at, then another coach could take him and say, I know what he can do. I can use him on my team because he's good at this. Fizdale is trying to develop these guys so they can find out what they're good at. So he has all of these things going on. And you guys are critiquing him. You guys are critiquing him on wins and losses.
No, I'm not critiquing him. I could care less about wins and losses. No, I could care less about wins and losses. I'm critiquing him on principle.
No,
right?
y'all just a bunch of fake professional analysts, and I call y'all sound so like y'all are coaches, and y'all understand his method.
Sim is a coach.
Actually, I am a coach, bro.
You talking about New York?
I've been coaching for like.
New York media doesn't break down anything. We've been breaking down Fiz's game. Vivek has been breaking down the fact that this guy doesn't use curls. He doesn't use screen. He's been doing this since. Yeah. We're not sitting here hoping these guys win. We've been said. All of us has been said that what team's not going to win. This team is not going to win a lot of games. We're basing it on the fact that there's no culture. There's no system for these guys to flourish. If I have a bunch of young guys, I'm not going to allow them to just play ice or play pickup ball. And let's see who's the best. And then maybe we can get games next year. No, have a system in place. Follow system in place. So you have guys and say, all right, he fits the 2 guard for me. He fits the 3 guard for me. He's my 4 general. He's my 5. He fits my system. That's how you evaluate players. And that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah. Dude, I've been coaching basketball.
Man,
I'm 40. Hold up, I'm 41. I'm 42 years old. I've been coaching basketball for like 20 years, though.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm pointing because he got jokes. Isaiah got jokes. But now I want to finish hearing what Son is saying, though.
No, what I'm saying is
because I got a rebuttal for anything that y'all got to say.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes, and we can talk.
That's cool. That's cool. Hold on. 1 second. I've been coaching basketball for like 20 years. So like I'm not speaking.
Like I said.
Hold up. Let me finish.
See, y'all judging Fizdale like he's dealing with a bunch of veterans, and he's not getting the most out of his veterans. These guys. No. Hold up. 1 second. Well, you need to start talking louder because it sounded like you was finished, son.
No, hold up. 1 second. 1 second.
Gang up on me now?
No, we're not gonna gang up. We just fall back for one second. Fall back for 1 second, right? What I'm saying is, I've been coaching basketball for a while. You know what I'm saying? I've been coaching basketball for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that I do understand the basketball game, and that any of us, though, any fan, any person that's in the media has the right to critique anyone that, and these guys understand that. Fizdale understands that he's going to get criticism. I'm sure he understands it, right? Frank Ntilikina, Emmanuel Mudiay, Tim Hardaway Jr., they all understand that they are going to get criticism. That's part of being a professional. That is part of being professional. Every person that's in this chat, gets criticism. I understand that I'm only on YouTube. All I do is this YouTube thing because I enjoy to do it. But I'm gonna get criticism too. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody here is saying to fire Fizdale. Maybe I've seen some people, whatever. I don't think anyone is saying to fire Fizdale.
I don't know, but I don't even understand what you're talking about. You call us fake analysts, but nothing you said has anything to do with any of the
I don't know, man. Isaiah, I'm about to come to you, Isaiah. And one, you know, I will say, I know, Jason, I know. And the one thing I will say though is, an analyst really does go to school for journalism, and they learn how to be an analyst, and they do all these things. I've never claimed to be an analyst. I would not disrespect the profession to say that I'm an analyst. I'm not an analyst. I'm just a fan that wants to talk about the New York Knicks and enjoys talking about the New York Knicks. I am not an analyst. I would never claim to be an analyst because they put a lot of work in to be an analyst. So I'm going to respect the profession of being an analyst. I would never claim to be one. So anyone that's there, anyone that's in the chat, anyone that's in the video chat and YouTube chat, please be clear. I am not an analyst. I do not want to be an analyst. I never claimed myself to be an analyst. I just talk from what I know. That's it. Because an analyst really does put in a lot of work to be what they are. And I respect that profession. So no, I would never call myself an analyst. Isaiah, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come back around to Kareem. All right. I'm going to come back around to him. Isaiah, what's popping, bro?
Yo, Sam, I like this guy Kareem. This guy Kareem is a funny dude.
Well, first let me say, hold up. But first, Kareem is not new to the chat. He just hasn't been here in a while. He's not new to the chat. He's been in the chat plenty of times.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's been in the chat plenty of times. He just hasn't been here in a while.
I like Kareem. He's a light-skinned DMX. I like this dude. He's a funny guy, man. I like him. I like him. He brings a little fresh blood into the city. He brings a little fresh blood into it. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
But no, man. Back to what I mean. What are we talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about. Huh? Oh my God, Ant's in the building. Jesus. No, but what are we talking about, Sam?
Well, you know, we were just talking about, you know, Kareem needed to blow a stack right quick and tell us, you know, talk about, you know, how, you know, some things that he didn't like that he was hearing. So, you know,
listen, wait, Kareem hear me?
He should be able to hear you.
Well, Kareem, let me tell you one thing that we all agree on. I can admit, I was gonna say today that I'm wrong about Fizz and the way he benches players. I'm wrong about that because it clearly works, and I can admit when I'm wrong. But one thing you got to understand, Kareem, is that with Fizdale, I have my echo. Hold on. When it comes to Fizdale, he's a car salesman. He's a used car salesman a little bit. He says one thing and does another thing. But you listen. No. You got to listen, man. We listen to you. You got to listen to us, bro. Okay, here's one of the things that he's definitely been a used car salesman. So the whole keep what you kill. If that was true, Tim Hardaway would be putting bunnies. He's not. He doesn't keep what you kill. He doesn't believe in that to the full extent. He says he talks a big game, but sometimes he doesn't fall for it. You got to understand that he doesn't have a system. The system, I don't know if anybody can see a system. He doesn't have a system, and it looks like we're just playing a lot of one-on-one ISO ball with no ball movement. That's why we're literally dead last in assists. You have to admit that there's something to that.
Hold on. I'm mute him. Go ahead, Kareem.
Oh, for me?
Can you?
Yeah, you have to admit that there's no ball movement in this on our team. There's literally we're dead last in assists.
What I'm responding to in particular is
still breaking up a little bit.
All right, look. If I'm responding to Isaiah, is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
All right, so let me mute some of these guys because I'm hearing too much stuff.
Yeah, because you hear so many people.
All right, listen, man. Listen, this is the real. all right, these young players, these guys are so young. They're so nervous in doing what they do. Fizdale's trying to keep things simple for them. He's not trying to run this crazy. Like, listen, if I guarantee you, if Fizdale had a veteran team, things would be more interesting. You can't tell a young person, go out there, be aggressive, go out there, be aggressive. He already tried that. Then what he did was
Kareem
giving people DMP.
Hold up. Let them finish.
So I'm trying to mute these guys. There's too much going on. So all I'm saying is you can't talk about Fizdale because he's in the midst of trying to prepare these guys. Like I was saying earlier, to be a professional player in the NBA, you have to be able to do something good. As a young player, you have to figure out what you can do good. In college, whatever you did in college doesn't mean anything anymore. When you come to the NBA, you have to make an identity for yourself. Once you make an identity for yourself, now you're an asset. When someone needs someone, they can put you on a contract because they know what you can do. Fizdale is trying to get these guys to figure out what they can do good. So
let him talk. Let him talk.
Development is too early for him to tell someone, go do this, go do that, because he's still trying to give them time. That it doesn't make any sense to judge Fizdale on his system, on wins and losses, any of these things, because most teams have one guy, two guys that are young, that needs development. Everyone else, you know what you get. Like 90% of these guys are developing. So you have to give him credit when these guys, and as the season progresses, they get better. That's the only thing, in my opinion, that I feel like is fair enough to judge Fizdale on.
Okay.
Well, Kareem, wait, Sim, can I say something, Sim?
Go ahead.
So Kareem, here's my thing. Here's my thing, and then we can. So you're saying the players are young, so they don't need a system. But here's where I differ from. That's like telling a little kid in second grade, just do what you want to do in class, and you don't have to learn. That's basically what you just said.
That's not true.
That's like letting the kid just do his thing. That's like letting the kid just do his thing and no guidance.
No, you're trying to make it simple.
No, but that makes perfect sense, because at the end of the day, you're saying these kids have to just do that. They have to make them do their own thing, but they don't know what to do. That's like, for example. Wait, Kareem, listen. For example, do you think in Greg Popovich's, do you think the young rookies are not in a system that they're not learning? So why is it okay for Greg Popovich to put the rookies in the system and the Fizz can't put them in the system? It don't matter who was in it.
But these young guys are led by veterans. They're led by veterans who's been in the system a long time. So they're just falling in line. Fizdale is literally starting his system from scratch with no one that can lead the way. So he has to take it, he has to give them baby steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, as they progress and they get confident, just as an NBA player, as a professional player, like I was saying, 2 weeks ago, Kevin Knox didn't even have enough confidence to get up 25 shots in the game. It's a process. He has to give them.
I understand that part, but I understand that part, but I'm talking about the parts where there's no ball movement. That come on now, no ball movement. There's literally no ball movement.
Yeah,
there's no ball movement. There's no system.
Ball movement is repetition, though. It's repetition. You can't try to pass the ball.
But bro, all right, listen. But you letting players like Zoe, who's a rookie, talking about, oh, he can just do his thing, and you got to let Zoe do his thing. You don't give a rookie that much power. That's like giving a little kid a gun and telling him not to go crazy.
Ooh. Listen, the stage that the Knicks are in right now, they want to give these young guys opportunities because it's
I understand the opportunities, but
it's a long season.
But here's my thing. When KP comes back, do you want him to be in this, or do you want him to be in the system? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if KP comes back to this where it's all ISO and hero ball, he's not gonna like that, and it's gonna be a disaster.
Yo. When you play basketball,
wait, yeah, Sim, you can go to somebody else.
I'm gonna make this last point.
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to some other guys. You guys go ahead and finish your conversation up. All right. I do agree though that when you're dealing with young guys, the best way to teach them is to put them in structure, high structure. You know what I'm saying? You start with structure and then you open it up later. I just believe that's the best way to deal with young people. That's why there's so much structure around just young kids in our society, because you start with structure and then you loosen it up when they have the skill set, when they have the knowledge, when they have all those things to back it up. I do understand what you're saying, Kareem, about him starting from scratch. I do get that when you say there's nothing to teach them, but I think that he should have started with some kind of a structure. You know what I'm saying? And at least principles, and maybe there are principles in place that I just don't see, but maybe there's some principles in place that he already has, but at least principles, you know, certain principles that I think should be there that I don't see, you know what I mean? And maybe it's going to come soon enough. I read an article somewhere where they said after 25 games, Fizz was, you know, this was going to be his lineup. This is when he was going to start putting in more intricate stuff. We'll see if that happens. You know what I mean? We'll see if that happens. Let me see. I'm gonna come to Ant, then I'm gonna come to Davon, then I'm gonna come to Viv. All right, and then after that, I want to talk about Knox.
Yo,
Ant,
I was watching, and homie he got me hyped up to come in because I really don't. I don't understand at all. He's making this weird conclusion that no system was simpler. Like, I don't understand how we came to that conclusion. No system for young players is more difficult for them to succeed. I work in the school, and the first thing you learn is that when you're teaching young people, structure is everything. Like, it's the reason why you don't let second graders walk themselves to lunch, right? You walk second graders to lunch, right? But when they get to high school, they can walk themselves to lunch, but you don't let little kids freestyle. And a lot of these dudes in the league right now, like on our team, a lot of our young guys, they're like second graders to the league right now. You can't just throw them on the court and say, go play ball. Some of them are going to be successful. The guys that are successful with ISO, the AAU guys like Trier and Trey Burke, like those guys, the AAU guys, they're going to be successful in ISO one-on-one and freestyle. But when you got guys like Frank, you got guys like Knox, they need systems. The reason why Knox has been playing better a lot recently is because they're running plays for him. It seems like they're asking him to do specific things. They're giving him specific instructions. And that's why he's succeeding right now. He's not succeeding because he learned how to freestyle. Like, so, I mean, I'm not saying we got to knock Fizz on everything, but, you know, we got to be realistic and, you know, be honest, right? There's some things that Fizz isn't doing great at right now. It doesn't mean he won't be great at it. But, I mean, to say that simpler means let them do anything, that's a weird conclusion to me. So, I mean, I just don't know where he got that from.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna come to Davon. Actually, Davon, let me get this call quick, then I'm gonna come to you. Call you on live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, this is Rob the Knick.
What's up, Rob?
Hey, look, I'm keeping it 100. The kid Kareem, that's his name, right?
Kareem, yep, that's Kareem.
Yo, I feel him 100%.
Okay.
I feel him 100% because this is new to us. Because what we thought we was going to be doing in the beginning of the season is development. Fizz is developing him in a different way that probably all of us don't see. But it's working. Everybody that he got sat 4 games, came back in, was productive for the Knicks.
Okay, all right, let me ask you this.
That's a confidence builder.
Let me ask you this. How many people sat 4 games and came back productive?
Okay, we had your man Dotson. He
Dotson.
did.
Okay. So let me say this about Dotson.
Well, look.
Wait a minute. No.
You was gonna ask me.
No,
it's
I
just
know.
more than just Dotson.
Listen, I understand that. Listen. Dotson was doing well before he was sat. So I can't say that him sitting made him now do well. Dotson was playing well before he was sat down. The only thing that you can say, the only thing that you can say about Dotson, the only thing you can say about Dotson is that he remained professional while he was sitting. right? Right, he remained professional.
I can agree with that.
But he was already playing well before he sat.
Okay, that's one. Okay. But when he came back, he stayed professional. Can we all agree on that?
He stayed professional. He stayed pro. Who's next?
Okay, now Frank. Y'all been killing like look, when Frank is out the lineup on this thing right here, and everybody goes shell. But this was Frank's best game.
Yeah.
And everybody got to agree to that.
It was his best game. And so that's one, Frank. Right?
Okay.
Who else had a DNP?
Okay, so then so the next person was Frank, and then when the lights little baby AI came back.
Trey Burke.
When he came back, came back busting.
Now I'm not. So Trey Burke did. I'm gonna save that one for later. And then there's Emmanuel Mudiay, right? That people always
came back busting.
But see, man, in my opinion, though, with Emmanuel Mudiay, I feel like Emmanuel Mudiay, you really can't put in that category. He came back from being injured, and then he got back into the lineup, and then it took a little while for him to claim his position. He didn't get sacked because of his play.
Well, we look at Emmanuel Mudiay from last year.
Right, I agree.
He was garbage last year.
Right, but he didn't get sacked because of his play. It wasn't like he was playing and then he got pulled out the lineup and then he came back.
We look at his play like this. We look at his play from what he did previously.
But we're talking about DNPs, right? We're saying that the DNPs worked.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm saying. We're saying that the DNPs
We're talking about DNPs.
Right.
But everybody that he sat down in that area, everybody that got sat down, when
not Mario Hezonja.
They came back busting.
Not Hezonja. We'll see if it worked. It looks like like maybe Hezonja's going to sit down
again. 1 out of 3. Okay.
So I mean, right now it's been 2 players. It's been 2 players. It's been 2 players basically. If you think, in my opinion, I look at it. It's been 2 players. It's been Frank and Trey Burke. Mario, we'll see what happened with Mario. We'll see what happens. I think Mario wasn't getting any playing time, and then he started playing. Now it looks like possibly Mario's going to be sat down because he didn't play the second half. So we'll see if that works. We'll see if it works for Mario.
But your man Kareem, this is the only thing I called in for.
Okay.
Your man Kareem right there, I ain't never seen that brother again, but he's got the same concept that I have with the New York Knicks. Look, we don't know, but we got to try everything. All those kids that's on that team, to me, are all Fizz kids. Because we got the youngest team in the league. They all Fizz kids. Mm-hmm. So he picking and he prodding. Just because you was the number 1 pick this year or last year, we got a whole totally young team. And he going to pick from that team when PK come back. Look, we picking from what we have, and then we going to add. Everybody love Frank. I love Frank too. I'm glad Frank came out of his shell today. And I think
we'll see if
he's going to be better today going forward than he was in the past.
I hope so.
Because now he knows what it takes. He finally seen what it takes. He said, look, I can't always just pass the ball. Sometimes I got to shoot because that's what I've been working on. Mm-hmm. That's what he's been working on in practice. Mm-hmm. So you shoot that shot.
But listen, I don't think
happy shooting that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so he's happy shooting that shot. So that's his confidence builder. But he learned that just sitting there waiting. Whatever Fizdale told him that, look, this is why we don't know what he told him. Look, I'm sitting you from like this here. You get aggressive. I don't care if you miss, but you stay aggressive. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But whatever Fizdale been telling them is working. And your man, Ron Jeremy, this is what I wanted to say. I listened to the show 2 straight days.
Who?
But he was on Fan TV on the Milwaukee game when Mudiay went on. Oh, he was praising. Then he got right back here on this show, and he was killing them. I was like, look, I didn't even want to call in because he was just killing them like that, but he was loving them on fan TV.
Who is that?
Look.
Who is that?
Your
Ron
man,
Cleveland? Ron Cleveland?
Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy.
Your man, Ron Cleveland.
Ron Cleveland.
Yes.
He said Ron Jeremy.
On that damn Milwaukee game, when we came back, he was praising Moutier all day. He got on the show the other day, and he was like,
he lit into him.
Everybody needed to get kicked to the bridge.
He lit
but the only one that he stayed consistent with getting kicked to the bridge was
Frank
Madonia.
Oh, his own.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Madonia. But look, y'all can love Frank. I love Frank too. I think Frank is going to be a hell of a guard. But it took what Fizdale did to him to bring him back. Going forward, I think he's going to be tough. He's going to be tough going forward.
So now, see.
Your man going to be out the lineup.
Who?
He's going to be out the lineup because he gives too much, but now he's feeling himself.
Who's going to be out the lineup?
Baskets. He was scoring when he was supposed to be passing.
Who's going to be out the lineup?
That's the run the team. And show the team that, look, I can do this. And the team respected what he did. It was look.
Who are you saying is going to be out the lineup? Who are you saying is going to be out the lineup?
Oh,
you just said
Madonia.
Now, okay. But see, listen, my argument has never been with. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. They just, they laughing at you a little bit in the chat because you called him Ron Jeremy. If you get a chance to check out the chat,
yeah.
But
that's what he played like. He needs to be a porn star someplace else. Yeah, he's a bum.
Hey,
he showed it. We gave him a chance.
Hey, Ron,
call him Ron Jeremy. He's a bum. And I listened to him. And look, I watched him. He got a little nice handle, but he's not ready mentally.
All right.
He's Ron Jeremy. Look, porn star. Go make movies. Get out, man. Get off the net.
All right, Pete. Oh man, I don't know. Anyway, my argument is not with the DNPs. You know what I mean? Like I said before, when Frank was sitting, I said, you know what? I'm going to trust what Fizz is saying. I don't know what's going on in the locker room or what they were talking about. I've had plenty of players that I sat down because they weren't doing what I was asking them to do. I never really, I asked the question and I wanted him to play, but I never said, you need to play that man right now. I never said that. All season long, not all season long, about 10 games in is when I really started to question just the principles that I see on the floor. And my opinion will never change. You know what I'm saying? You have to emphasize certain principles. You have to emphasize certain structure when you're dealing with young kids. You do. And then you let them free. When they get a little bit older and they have that structure down. That's my philosophy. Other people's philosophy may be different, but that's what I would like to see. Let's talk about Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox tonight, 26 points, 15 rebounds. I'm sorry for laughing, but it's funny. Anyway, Kevin Knox, 26 points, 15 rebounds. Very, very good night for Kevin Knox. Although he shot 40%, I think it's a very good night for Kevin Knox. I think that Kevin Knox is getting comfortable with the NBA game. I see certain things that he's not doing. You know what I'm saying? At first it seemed like he was driving. It's like he was forcing a little bit, driving into traffic, trying to put up a shot in the traffic. There's still some things I want to see, and he's got time to work on it. He's going to work on it. I'd like to see him extend more to the basket. Sometimes he doesn't extend all the way to the basket. That's he does a floater. Sometimes he does a floater, and sometimes that floater is pretty far out. I'd like to see him in some of those situations. Sometimes sometimes you hit that floater, and then sometimes I think you got to go straight up and down with it. But look, he had 26 points, 15 rebounds tonight. I'm really excited about the rebounds. That's one thing I think, for him to become the player that I believe he can be, rebounding is going to have to be a key. I think he has the ability. I really do think he has the ability to be, a 20 and 10 guy. I think he can get 10 rebounds a game. I really do. He has, for him to be 19 years old, he has decent size. You know what I mean? He has decent size, and he's going to get stronger. He's going to get bigger. So I think he should and can be, a guy that gets you 20 and 10. I really do. Brandon McNeely said he uses the glass and still misses. Yeah, he does. But I think, that's going to come. I mean, that's just him being young and not accurate. You know what I mean? Young and not accurate. And he'll become more accurate, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll become more accurate. I see the chat, man. They getting it in tonight. They really going loose. Let me get back to some of these guys. I know some of these guys have some things to say. Davon, I'm coming to you right now. Davon, what's popping, bro? Yeah, I can hear you.
What's popping? Can you hear me? All right. So, hold on. Let me mute you. So, to go back to, what Kareem was saying, real quick, and I'll go back and I'll talk about Knox. What he fails to realize is that's our opinion is what we have. Like we all have our own opinion, and as fans, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have our opinion about our team and how we feel about them. So if we feel this way and you feel that way, I mean, there's nothing for you to get, upset about or feel like, to talk down on all of us or, we talk down on you. It's like, it's our team. Like we all have love for the same thing. We all have love for the Knicks, and we all want to see the Knicks, progress and, do what they got to do best, so we all, you might have, some people think Hardaway is good. Other people don't. Some people think, Ntilikina is, a stud. Some people don't. But, we all got one focus, and that's, the beloved for the Knicks, So I get what he's saying, but, like you said, like, he's not a professional. Neither am I. Neither, neither none of us, none of us are, we might have played basketball, high school, coach, but we never done it at a professional level. So we don't really know, what goes on behind closed doors, but we do know what we see with our own eyes and make our own judgments and own opinions about that. Just like, you coach for 20 years, you know what I mean? Like I've been a referee for 5 years, and I currently work for Second Spectrum, and we handle all of the player stats and data and everything for the NBA with official player tracker. So we all got, different things, and we all got different backgrounds and know different, different nuances of the game, whether it's the X's and O's or by the numbers. But, you just got to have your own opinion and just know that we all got the same love for everything. We all got love for the Knicks.
That's it. It's one big family with a whole bunch of grievances, man.
Right.
One big family with a bunch of grievances with each other.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We Knicks fans. We've been losing for years. So of course we tired of it. We tired of it. We wanna get better in a day, or we wanna, we want it to be done this way or that way. But it's a process, and I think we all understand that. I just don't think we all understand how the process should be ran, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen with these players, or we don't know what's going on around and closed doors. And like part of being a fan is being a fake analyst, like he was saying that, but part of being a fan is being a fake analyst, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna have you watch these people, you put your time in every day or every game to watch them or look up the stats or the box score. So you're gonna have you're gonna feel some type of way, what I mean? You buy the jerseys, you buy game tickets, so you're gonna feel some type of way about the team and what they're doing.
Let me tell you something. I spend my hard-earned money invested in the New York Knicks.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I buy
so you're gonna be
jerseys.
Pissed when they don't do stuff that you feel are correct.
I buy jerseys. I buy hats. I buy tickets. I buy stock. Okay? I spend my hard-earned money investing in this team. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Right. This is the platform. This is why
I'm gonna say what I want to say.
You've given us this platform to do that.
Exactly, because I spent a lot of time investing in this team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I want my return on investment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want my return, and I'm gonna get my return on investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
exactly.
I'm gonna say what I feel like I need to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Vic.
So,
go ahead.
Oh, go on. Quick about Knox. I feel like, hold on, me who's Mark. I feel he's doing, Knox is, I guess, some teams we played twice now, or he's seen a little bit, seeing different players and different schemes and stuff. So I feel like he's getting just a little bit more comfortable on what's going on and what's expected of him. One thing that I personally would like to see from Knox, or maybe even Fizdale, is let Knox be more of a point forward a little bit, and just to demand him a little bit more to be more of a playmaker, just a little bit, because he is a little gun happy. He is going to jack it up pretty much every time he touches it. So I feel like you give him that role for just maybe like a game or two, he'll kind of understand a little bit more of a ball movement, and understand a passing the ball to help him as a player, personally, and his own skills, as well as a scorer. What he loves to do, he'll understand, like, okay, if I pass the ball more, a little bit, maybe I'll get it back, or the other guys will start hitting their shots. But that's all I gotta say for now. So.
Okay, all right. Let me get the Viv, and then I'm gonna come to Who's Mark. See Who's Mark. Join the chat. Viv, what's good, man?
Look, Sim, I kind of missed a lot of this whole this, I think, back and forth. I kind of got a little crazy, so I don't really honestly care about all the other nonsense that would happen. If you want to give me the clip notes, it's it's one thing, but I'm not gonna get into that too much. But look, if you want to talk about Knox, right? I think it's better to segue to that.
Yeah. I want to talk about Knox now. We move on from all that.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. So look, I think the thing with Knox is that he's getting a lot more comfortable on the floor, right? So he's playing like he knows where he needs to be. He's playing with a little more purpose, and comes with getting NBA minutes, right? So he feels like he got a role out there. And the moment you feel like you got a role out there, you're just going to play a lot better. You're going to be a lot more productive on the floor. Now, 10 for 25 is not a good shooting night. I mean, if anyone else had 10 for 25 shooting night, even Tim Hardaway Jr., even if it was Alonzo Trier or Trey Burke, we would rightfully and duly criticize them. So 10 for 25 is not a great shooting night in whatsoever fashion. But
no, he was 40%.
But you know what it is, though, Sim? It's that he grabbed 15 rebounds, which is one of the issues that we had, was they didn't always show energy on the glass. So it's good to see they brought that same energy on the glass, especially the defensive glass, where way too often this season we've gotten burned by losing defensive rebounds. We've given up a lot of offensive rebounds. So to see someone like Knox get in there, get in like the get in like the middle of the mess and just grab rebounds, I like that. I like the fact that he's 4 for 8 from 3. Now, being 4 for 8 from 3 is interesting because that means he was 6 for 17. So, perhaps over the course of the season, I think the growth we'll probably see from Knox is him altering his shot selection to an extent where he doesn't have to force or settle for a lot of these low percentage shots. When he goes into this paint and he puts up a lot of the weak floaters. I know he made one nice floater, but he had a lot of weak attempts at the rim. I could see a point where they just, start reducing that from his game and then moving towards just an overall all-around, type of offensive arsenal that's more efficient for him. So, look, I'm very encouraged about it, and I think I know I didn't want to mention this, but I just want to mention, teams that think, if you can think about not having any sort of structure, I would just look at 2 case studies this year: the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls just lost a game on Saturday by 56 points. 56. I don't even think we've lost a game. We lost the game against the Celtics by 28 points, and we thought that was bad. They lost by 56 points. They had to have a players only meeting. They had to have a coach's meeting. It was ridiculous. There is literally no structure there. You don't want that. You don't want what's going on in Phoenix, where they had this conflict with Mikal Bridges, and you saw it was basically there's like an altercation. It was just annoying.
Yeah.
You want none of that.
Nah. I feel you, man. I mean, I'm a strong supporter of starting with high structure and then letting it go from there. We'll see how it works. I'm not saying that it can't be successful the other way.
Now what structure is in. It doesn't have to always be play calling. It has to be the work ethic.
Yeah. And look. Yeah, and that's the one thing from Knox that I seen tonight. He had that one possession where he went up 4 or 5 rebounds. He showed a little bit of that, that motor in that possession. And I was like, and then you seen him, pump his fist afterwards. I felt really good about that. You know what I mean? Felt really good about that. All right, let's get to Mark. Let's see what Mark got to say. Mark, you ready? What's good, man?
I love the static tonight. A lot of static.
Yeah.
But
okay,
tonight's
so what you got to say?
I like what I saw from Frank, just being a little more aggressive, not thinking and just shooting.
Uh-huh.
And I like how when certain players ain't playing right, you sit them on the bench and let them come off a game or two. Because he wants to embody a type of culture where you play tough when you're on the court. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad he took 25 shots because he's showing me that he got a little motor. That's my only fit with him is the motor. As long as he keeps showing me that he got that motor.
And we seen it, and we seen it in a couple of possessions where he is going after 3, 4, 5 rebounds at a time. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I ask for.
That's what you want to see. Man. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see.
I wish he'd have took 35.
That's what you want to see, man. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I did like tonight, though. I'm gonna tell you something I really did like. I really like the fact that Fizz got ejected tonight because he was standing up for his players. He was standing up for his players. You know what I mean? And that lets the players know that I got your back no matter what. And it gives people talk about the DNPs and does Fizz have favorites or whatever it is. But when you do something, you get ejected for the players, right? It lets the players know that I love you. So anything that I'm doing, any kind of discipline that I'm giving you, I love you. It's all out of love. You know what I mean? And you gotta like it. He's standing up for his players. He's willing to go to battle, go to war for his players, and that's gonna endear the players to him.
Yeah, and Pete Game. No one talked about this. He sat Tim behind on the bench yesterday for going for 2 for 12. I think he's starting to do that. If you have a bad game where you don't show this type of effort, he's gonna sit you.
I hope so, man. Because
that's how you like I said.
Because Timmy really.
York, if they don't play to a certain aggressiveness, you have to sit, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah, I hope so because with Timmy, man, was really he played. He shot well tonight, but up until tonight, his numbers have been going down from, and I showed it. I'll show it again. From October to December, his numbers have really dropped. Now he played well tonight, right? But in October, Timmy was shooting 43.1% from the field, averaging 26 points per game. That's not great. 43.1% is not great. I don't care what anyone could say, whatever.
You know what I always said about him? You can't give him too much responsibility because when you give him too much responsibility, it gets to his head. He feel like he has to do this, do that. No.
Yeah, and then November he went down to 37.4%, 20.1 points per game. December, so far this month, he's at 35.3%, 17.5 points per game. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna have to come a time, man. Now he shot well tonight. Hopefully, this is a turning point for him in this month, right? Maybe it's a turning point. He can start to climb and bring himself back out. Fizdale, before the game, they were interviewing Fizdale, and they said that Fizdale said he was telling them, use your teammates, let your teammates set you up a little bit.
Because he don't.
Yeah, use your teammates. And I seen him trying to do some of that tonight. Right, I seen him trying to do some of that. So,
like I said, he is who he is. But what kills me the most is that he has a great jump shot. He should be a little more better shot selection. Because that would make his game more better. He don't have to take 20 shots a game.
Right. He doesn't.
That's why we get mad, because he takes all these inefficient shots and he heat checks when he don't have to.
Right. And you know what? And if he's taking less shots, you might be mindful to take better shots, right? If instead of taking 20, you're taking 15, you might be like, you know what? I gotta make these 15 count. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so funny? If we had like 3 players better than him, he wouldn't even be a thought in our process, because he wouldn't get those amount of touches,
right,
or take shots like that, because his shots would be predicated on the stars on the team, other than him.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough for us as Knicks fans. And listen, I want Timmy to play well. I really do. People think that I don't like him. I mean, I don't like him.
He's a quality player.
I don't like his style of play on the floor, because he's a low percentage shooter, and he shoots inefficient, bad shots a lot of times. His shot selection is horrible. But I mean, as a person, I like him. I just want to see him play better.
Yeah, listen, you know what I'm saying? Man, I want to see him play better and do better.
We have to deal with this.
Hopefully, we get to a point. Hopefully, we get to a point where he is the third best player or the sixth man or something like that.
He got to be the fourth best player, man. Because he's a high quality role player that can win you a game. Because you always need one of those players on your team that think they're this good, but they're really not.
But they
have the confidence of a star player.
Right. Yeah. We'll see how that whole thing works out with Timmy, though. But back to Fizdale. I really am proud, though, of, Fizdale. Some people might think it's a little thing. I don't. I really do like the fact that he stood up for his players. I mean, he's always been standing up for his players, but he's not afraid to get ejected. Because that offensive foul was a horrible call.
Oh my God,
that was so terrible. It was a terrible call, man. I mean, come on, man. The dude.
Because Frank Kaminsky was backing up while Frank was coming in, but he didn't lower his shoulder at all.
Nah, he didn't push the arm off. You know what I'm saying? He just went in. I mean, it was a terrible call, and because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because of that,
it changed the game. It changed the game.
It changed the game. I don't know if the Knicks were gonna come back. You know what I mean? But
but you see, when you have that type of momentum at that point, you never know, bro.
Yeah. You're right. You never know.
Because it was still like 6 minutes in the game.
It was 6 minutes in the game. I think at the point we were down 14, maybe.
Yeah.
But we had some momentum though. No, wait a minute. When he fouled out, I think we were down 14 when he fouled out. Something like that. I don't remember. I don't know. I have to go back and look at it. Yeah, that was tough.
I normally watch the bench more than the floor, because I be just watching how Fizz interact with the coaches and the players on the floor. He be talking to them. But when people talk about this ball movement, I believe that he preaches it. But the fact that we have so many players that are like the same, it's gonna be hard for it to see.
Now, I think you got to do more than preach it, though. I've seen a lot of players, and maybe this is what you were already saying, preaching it. I've seen a lot of coaches, right? I mean, I got an organization where we got over 100 kids that play basketball from the third grade on up to seniors in high school. And I've had to let coaches go. I'm the president of the organization, by the way. I had to let coaches go because of they couldn't coach and they were hurting the kids' development. I've seen a lot of coaches yell and say, you got to rebound the basketball. You got to box out. You got to box out. You got to box out. I go and watch their practice, and not one time did they teach them how to box out, right? I see them yell, you got to move the ball. You got to move it up the ball. You got to cut. You got to do this. You got to do that. Screaming at them, preaching it to them, preaching the right thing. But I go to practice. They're not teaching the ball movement. They're not teaching the players where to go. They're not teaching the players how to set screens or teaching the players how to cut off the ball and different things like that. There's a difference between preaching and teaching. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are saying, I see people in the chat all the time say, this is the NBA. Today's game, especially when you have a team young like ours, there has to be a lot of teaching because we have players that spent 6 months in college, right? So they didn't get a lot of tutelage from, back in the day, the Patrick Ewings, Michael Jordans, all those guys, they were in college at least 3 to 4 years. So they got teaching from great, great coaches. Today, guys are going for 6 months and then coming to the NBA out of high schools. Some of those high schools maybe teach you well. Others don't teach you at all. They're just trying to collect talent to try to win championships, to get money for their school, to get booster money, to get all that kind of stuff. It's all about that green. Right. And they're not really teaching the guys how to play. They're just collecting talent. And now the guys go to college for 6 months. They get a little bit of training for 6 months, and then they go to the NBA. So we still have to, in today's NBA, there's got to be a lot of teaching going on. Teaching. And not just teaching basketball, but teaching these guys how to be young men. That's one area I will say. I really do believe that Fizz is teaching these guys how to be men. Like, be young men just in life in general. I do believe that he is teaching that.
And the thing, too, I got a big beef. I don't like that Keith Smart guy for assistant coach. Just him being in the presence, I don't like him.
You don't?
He remind me of Kurt Rambis.
Okay. Now, I want to know what... So here we go. I want to know what Kareem has to say about that. Because what's the difference? What's the difference there? He don't like Keith Smart. What's the difference? You saying, we saying this about Fizz. Mark said he don't like Keith Smart. What's the difference? Don't we got to give him a chance?
Don't we got to give him a chance, Mark? Smart, because he ruined Play's career.
Don't we got to give him a chance, though?
Nah, he had too many kids as head coach.
This is Fizdale's hand-picked staff, though. That's Fizdale's hand-picked staff.
Viv know what I'm talking about.
That's his dude, though, right? That's it. Fizdale picked him and said, "You're gonna be my lead."
That was a bad one. Sorry.
Why though?
Because he don't put players in the right position also, because I remember when he was coaching Sacramento, and I remember the year he was coaching them, and he had Tyreke Evans, the rookie of the year, averaging 25 and 5. Mm-hmm. The next season, he took the boy out of that position from point guard, which he played his whole life, and let him play small forward. And now look at him. He became a journeyman in the NBA. He coached the Golden State. He didn't know what to do with Steph Curry.
Okay.
He was just not good. He was just not good. He's not good defensively at all.
So you don't think that he's good as a Lenny? No, I did not say that. Please don't put that in the atmosphere. I'm sorry, Mark. Lenny Kewis. I did not say that at all. So please don't put that in the atmosphere. I would never say that. Okay. Thank you. But you don't think that he's good as an assistant coach?
He don't command the respect.
Okay.
He don't.
All right. What you think, Kareem? Kareem, what you think? I know Keith Smart is not the high profile guy. We know that. But do we got to give him a chance though? He's basically doing the same thing. He's judging them. What you think, Kareem?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
People take my passion the wrong way, so I'm not going to be animated in responding. Maybe what I say heard.
Don't worry, man. Do you? I don't think everybody. Just do you.
All right. Well, I just feel like
anybody gonna be hurt.
just feel like Mark, I've had words for him before. I think he's very temperamental, and he I don't know if he always grasps the big picture. So it's hard for me to really. He's like
temperamental.
He speaks to emotion. I mean, you gonna really critique the assistant coach? I'm just saying. I mean, that's where you at with your. Hey man, do your thing, have fun with it. Because I don't even think that's a top right. I mean, I think Fizdale picked the guys for a reason. These guys all have experience. What's it, Keith Smart's name is, I believe. He has experience, not probably fit to be a head coach, but the relationships that he's developed, with maybe future free agent, and he's a basketball guy. Royal Ivy and Howard Isley and a lot of those guys I'm familiar with, and I just think that they're all open, and the development I think is really enough information to begin to critique him. If he was critiquing him on anything happening today, I just think that's good and kind of.
And I think Keith Smart was with Fizz before. I think he just, he trusts him. That's an important thing about coaching, man. If your assistant coaches, players, like you're gonna play players that you trust. But when you choose coaches, if there's certain things that you want to teach, like your assistant coaches are your voice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times your assistant coaches are doing more work and teaching with the players than you are as the head coach. So you got to make sure. That's the problem if you go into a situation where the assistant coaches are already there, right? And now they want you to be the head coach. I think that's a problem. It shouldn't work that way, because your assistant coaches, they whatever it is that you want to teach, they got to be able to say it the same way that you're going to say it. They got to be able to teach it the same way that you're going to teach it. They got to spread your message. So, he went out and got people that he felt was going to spread his message, teach the things that he wants to teach. You know what I mean?
So, but what was the critique?
I don't know. I don't know. Mark don't like him. Yeah, he's, for.
Right, yeah, that's it. That's what it boils down to.
Bro, he has a track record of him not. Teams not players not respecting him, bro.
I mean,
we'll see.
You don't hold players accountable.
What evidence do you have for that he's a good?
All right, so do me a favor. When you got time, go look when he coached. Go look at the history when he coached Golden State and when he coached Sacramento Kings, and then come back to me.
Yeah, but guys are always reinventing themselves. I think the whole Knicks front office is a bunch of guys that have experienced other places. Now they come to New York to form the cabinet of guys who have experience and failed other places, but their knowledge is useful in the fact that in a rebuilding stage. So I think I probably didn't have best careers. But I think as of right now, what we're seeing, the product that we're seeing with these unsung guys, high draft picks that didn't work out, or second round picks, or draft guys, I think overall they're earning their pay right now. The group effort,
all right.
Like they said.
Well, Fizz is earning his pay because when you look at him on the court and him expressing himself, he's embodying, not Keith Smart, bro. I've seen too many years of his failure. He ruined Tyreke Evans' career by far. How you take him out the guard spot to put him small forward and he was ineffective?
All right. Hey, Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, man. You touched it. This whole thing with the key. Look, I just want to make the point that when you look around the NBA, the most successful teams are teams that have structure. Like, I don't want to be a devil's, but look at the Warriors. We get caught up in the fact that they have this guy, Kevin Durant. Even as great as Kevin Durant, he didn't look that great until Golden State Warriors. That's why they look so good. Spurs won 57 games last year with no real great players. Marcus Aldridge is an okay player, but he had this thing with using the wrong way in the offense. They were winning with the Dejounte Murray or whatever his name is. The Celtics have a So when I'm not being biased, though, that's not my point. The thing is that when, like, I'm telling you, bro, I think
you're breaking up, son, Grandma. You're breaking up.
I'm breaking up?
Yeah, you're breaking up. You might have to be maybe closer. I don't know if you have to be closer to the mic or what, but it's breaking up a lot.
Can you hear me now?
I mean, I can hear you. It's just as you're talking, it's kind of breaking up.
All right. Let me start. Can you just come back to me?
Yeah, I'll come back to you. Nate, I ain't heard from you for a while. Man? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm hearing like a really bad echo on my end.
I don't know. It could be.
Talking?
I don't know. I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
Could be anything.
All right. So we're talking about Keith Smart.
I mean, actually, we're getting ready to wind down. We don't have we're getting ready to wind down, man. Mark brought up Keith Smart because he don't like Keith Smart, but I just, tonight, we took a loss, but I think we learned a lot. We got to see some of our guys, Kevin Knox. You see him starting to develop a little bit, get comfortable out there on the floor. Frank Ntilikina, at least tonight, he had a career high tonight, right? Play the way that Fizdale's asking him to play. So, there's a lot that we can take from the loss, I think, tonight. Right? I think there's a lot that we can take from the loss. Do you have a player of the game tonight?
I would probably say Knox. I was impressed with the rebounding numbers. I really think that he is getting more comfortable with his shots. He's becoming more aggressive, breaking down the defense. He just needs to work on that defense on his end. But I would probably say Knox.
Okay. All right. What do you think about we got 2 days off, right? Well, what we got Monday and Tuesday off. Wednesday we play the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are, you talk about a team in tank mode. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in tank mode. All right, they are in straight up tank mode. What do you think about the game against the Cavaliers? What do we do? We gonna win it?
Well, we got to pick up our defense. I think I just saw a stat where we've given up 110 points in 7 straight games. So we got to get better defensively. Cleveland's one of those teams that, they're in tank mode, but I could see us losing to them.
Yeah, well,
you just never know.
Yeah. There's nobody that there's no team that we can say, we're supposed to beat these guys, or we're definitely going to beat these guys. It's just not that way.
It just depends on what team comes out. I'm kind of worried about Moutier's defense. Kemba Walker ate him for dinner today. I really would like to see Frank out there again, but maybe he just wants him to be the backup.
Well, I think, we'll see. There's probably going to be some lineup changes. Mario Hezonja, maybe there's going to, I'm thinking Knox may end up back in.
I hope so. Lineup. He deserves it. He need to let this kid grow.
Yeah, I think he might end up back in the starting lineup. Give me your last words, Nate.
Oh man, just crazy chat tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy chat tonight. A lot of back and forth.
Hey, I would like to open it up, right, so that everyone can go, but then everybody wouldn't be able to understand. I've done it a few times before, and it gets so confusing. No one can understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Not to mention, nobody would ever give somebody the chance to talk. So
it goes all over the place, but it's fun sometimes, right? That's
yeah. I mean, as Knick fans, we're frustrated, but we're optimistic, and with every loss, I try to take some good out of it, and hopefully we build upon that, and we get better.
Yeah.
But some losses we're just gonna take that. It's just not gonna be really any good moments out of it.
Yeah, but that's the reason why. That's the reason why when Trey's mom was on, I was like, we ain't had nobody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? If I'd have put Mark in the chat when Trey's mom was on, who knows what would have happened? If Mark
he would have been hitting on his auntie.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, good call on that one.
Yeah, but yeah, and I do want to say though, for the YouTube chat, you know what I mean, when we have guests on, especially a woman on, please be mindful in the chat with things that you're saying, man, because then when people go back and look, they do read the chat and they can see what you guys saying, man. I mean, sometimes y'all just gotta be a little bit more respectful. You know what I'm saying? I think from now on, if I have somebody on, especially if it's a woman, I'm not gonna let the chat be seen on the screen. It'll just be seen, whoever wants to
probably
see it.
Probably a good idea.
Because it's just disrespectful, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I read some of those comments. They were not very respectful.
Yeah, and we don't want, women are Knicks fans too. You know what I'm saying? We want them to feel comfortable that they can come into the chat without, getting all these crazy comments and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want anyone to feel like they can't come into the chat because they're intimidated. Because somebody's gonna say something crazy.
For sure.
But all right, Nate. I'm about to start heading this off, man. We got a full chat tonight. We're gonna start heading this off.
See you Wednesday.
Peace, man. All right. Have a good one.
All right, later. Bye.
Peace. All right. Let me see who I'm coming to. Davon, man.
What's up, Sam? What's poppin'?
What's up? What's good with you, man? You got to play the game?
Player of the game tonight?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give it to my nigga Kevin Knox.
All right.
For just some nice play game. 15, 16 boards?
Yeah, 15 boards tonight.
Man, that's nice. We need that from him. Even more than the 26 points.
Right.
We know he can score. We know that's why we drafted him to score. But the rebounds is extra. We need all the extra stuff that we can get from everybody. Just like Frank, sometimes, we know he's a defensive player. So if he can give us 18 points, that's extra. That's an extra 18 right there every game, So I'm gonna have to give it to Knox for tonight. I just want to. Hopefully, we could play some good defense against Cleveland. I mean, they're tanking.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and
we should be able to get a dub against them. Or
they are tanking. You know what I mean? Like really tanking.
Like we're not. I don't feel like we're tanking. Not at all. Because we're trying to win. We're trying to win games. You know what I mean? We all trying to win. Even with the rookies, I feel like we're still trying to win, still trying to do it. Yeah. And I feel like Fizdale sees that we're like in between a good team and a bad team. Like we're right there on the cusp of taking that next step.
Yeah.
So let's take those baby steps so we can get to that next step. And I feel like that's why sometimes, some people don't get the minutes, because we're only a couple games back from, the AFC, losing now, but we could still make a run. It's not like we're Cleveland or Phoenix who only got like 4 or 3 wins. They're washed. Their season's done. Mm-hmm. But we could still, if we could pull it together, get a couple 3-4 game winning streaks, we could be fighting for the AFC seed if we, honestly. And I feel like we have the talent to do that.
Yeah.
Right now, without the need of development, we have the talent. We're one of the more talented teams in the Eastern Conference right now. So we just got to get it all going and get it going the right way.
Any last words for tonight? And if we get a chance, man, I want to talk to you about. You said you do some stat stuff. I just want to get some information. Not try to get stat information from you, but just talk to you about it a little bit. Yeah. Any last words for tonight? And before you do that, man, shout out Michelle and maybe Marcy Trier. in the chat tonight. So, thank you once again for joining us. Hearing what we're talking about, and talking about Trier. I don't know any updates. Any updates on? Yeah, that's Alonzo Trier's aunt, and she may be with his mom, who is Marcy. So, big shout out for for them for joining the chat on a regular basis and truly being Knicks family. That's what's up. Any word on Zoe's? I guess he pulled a hamstring. Any word? Anybody get any word? That's the reason why he didn't play tonight. I think in warm-ups he pulled his hamstring or something like that.
Nah, I haven't heard anything.
Any word? Okay. All right. Well, Davon, man, I don't know. Do you know my email?
Nah. What's the email?
It's just srussell@nothingbutnicks.com.
Russell. Okay, I'll email you.
Yeah. And then that way I have information. We'll talk. All right.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right. Yes, sir. Let's get around to the crew. Isaiah.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up?
What's up? Yeah, so tell us, player of the night, your take on the Cleveland Knicks game, and last words.
You know who I'm gonna go with tonight, man. I'm just so proud of him tonight, man. I gotta go with Frankie, man. Frank, for the past 2 weeks, everybody and their mother have had this debates about Frank, and are we traded in him, and are we doing this? And what did he do? He responded with 2 great games. He should have had his first 20-point game, but the refs they must have been a Frank stain or something. I don't know. I'm going with Frank because of what he's been through and all the criticism he gets every single game from everybody that doesn't believe in development and just being patient with people. Frank had a great efficient game. He did his thing, and I'm really happy for him. And I hope he can continue. I know he's not going to go 4 for 4 from 3, but if he can continue showing positives on the offensive end, I'll be really happy with that, man, because he gets so much criticism for a 20-year-old. And I feel like, we harp on his good parts, but everybody just kills him for offense, which to a certain extent people are right, but I just believe that we should just give the kid some time so he can get better, man. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then for Cavs game, I think I'm gonna go with, I think the young kids are gonna have a great game against the Cavs. I think it's a perfect game for us because even they're not as talented. We're still developing, so I think it's a good game for us. And I want to see more Knox, and I want to see more Knox and more Frank in the lineup together. And also too, if Tim keeps playing like the bad defense, I think he should get a couple DMPs. And let's have a good game Wednesday. Everybody have a great weekend. Have fun. Right. Be safe.
Hey, what
would Sim do? What would Russell do? Hey, there you go.
What happened? What happened?
I said we should get a thing called "What would Russell do?" What would Sim do?
What would Sim do? All right, yeah, go ahead, do that.
We're gonna start that campaign. What would Sim do? And if you about to spaz on somebody, be like, what would Sim do? You about to buy a bucket hat? We already know what you about to do, but we gonna be like, what would Sim do? Sim, you want to hear something? I'm not trying to be funny. I went to go see Maxwell with my girl.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. That guy, he sounds just like he does in the studio. I jumped on stage. I tried to hug him, but the security, they tackled me. But
he sang so well. He sang so well that you had to try to hug that man. Come on, man.
I had to, man. My girl kept trying to throw her panties on the stage. I'm just like, no.
Wow, man.
It was a big black dude too. I thought I was in prison again. I was like, damn.
All right, man. Hey, what's up with them? What's up with them? Them videos, man? Huh?
Oh no, I'm getting them done. Man. I'm getting them done, man. I gotta I haven't had a chance to go to the LA Fitness, but I gotta use my man's membership.
Okay.
I gotta hit him up to use it. I just want to say one more thing. Kareem gets the MVP of the night because he got everybody started, everybody riled up. He gave us a fashion show that nobody got to see. He kept changing clothes every 3 minutes, but it's cool. but I'm gonna text you, Sim, and I'm gonna talk to you about it more.
Okay. All right.
God bless everybody except Ant. I don't like him right now.
All right, man. Peace. Man, crazy, man. Isaiah. For those who don't know, Isaiah is a comedian in real life, right? That's what that's what he does. He's working and building his career in comedy. That's why Frank is a comedian. He really is a comedian. All right, I'm coming around. Rob, I'm coming to you, man. Rob and Nick. What up, man? Rob, can you hear me? I can't hear you. I'm getting no sound whatsoever from you. I'll come back to you. All right. Let me see. Kareem. I'm glad you joined us, my brother, man.
Thank you, man.
Glad you joined us. Always nice to get a fresh voice and a fresh point of view in here. So we need you to come in here more often. Obviously you might have to work, things like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely plan to make my presence known more often. I mean, I get up and I get hyped, and maybe I say some things because I'm a real New Yorker, and sometimes, I might say things that I regret, and I do apologize to people if I said some harsh words, and if anybody heard me out there, as Robert Brandon would say, I apologize. But that being said, I never liked getting our butt whooped. With that being said, a lot of things that I like about the game, my player of the game actually goes to two people.
Okay.
One, Frank Ntlikina, and two, Coach Fizdale.
All right. Yeah.
He did what Ntlikina won't do. It was the Friday. Is like Ntlikina is a real respectful young man, and he wanted to curse them. He wanted to get attacked. But they really, they messed things up. And Fizdale was right there. I give my play to both guys.
Bet. Yeah, definitely, man. Because I love when coaches stand up for their players. It just, that lets you know that you love them and they'll do anything for you. When they know that, your players can do anything for you.
Indeed, man. I just want to say one last thing before I go. Hey, listen to the interview that you had with Alonzo Trier's mother. Hey, man, that was great. Yo, that was great, Sim. That was great. And yo, that's in your archive right there as one of your top interviews ever, man. Yo, beautiful woman, gracious. Yo, she's a hard-working woman. Is she are they Korean? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, Korean. Yeah.
Korean. Yeah, man. He's a beautiful woman. A beautiful son. He's he got his head screwed on right. We're lucky to have him on our team, man. And I just want to tell you, man, that was a great interview, man. Keep doing your thing, Sam.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. All right. Looking forward. Hopefully you can be on Wednesday, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to make it. Have a blessed day.
Peace. You too.
All right. Peace.
All right. Let me see. Mark, coming to you, bro.
What's up, bro?
Chilling, man. You got a player tonight?
Player tonight. I give it to Frank. I give it to the unit. I like seeing that young five running the floor.
Yeah, I love seeing that. I love seeing that young group together, man.
I really do.
Trio wasn't in there tonight, but I love seeing that young group. Yeah,
I give it to those five boys right there.
Okay. Your take on Cleveland, New York?
You know what? We're going to lose because every time I say we're going to win, we lose. So I'm going to say we're going to lose. And College Sexton been playing well, so, it is what it is, man. Just keep on improving. I just want Frank to come out like he did tonight. Point blank.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, yo, listen, man, this could be yours. Just take it, bro.
Take it. Right. Take it.
Because the fans want him. If you don't see how the fans react to him,
they do.
They want him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just take it. That's it. That's the mantra. Just take it. Go get it. Go get what you want. Go get yours. Yeah.
It's a job out here. If he want the job, if he want to be an NBA player, bro, it's one thing you gotta do. Just take it by your hands, man.
That's what's up. All right, man. I'm out. Wednesday.
Good chat
we'll
tonight.
be on Wednesday. Yeah, fun one tonight.
I like the static. We need more people with the static. Come in.
Hey, come in. Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of people that, you know, they be in the YouTube chat and they say this or that about the video chat, you know, that everybody agrees or this or that, but they don't want to come in. Come in.
And
come in and say what you got to say.
Comments after the show. They be in your comments. I be reading your comments on when your show's over.
Yeah.
They be talking wild stuff. I'm like, yo, bro, just come in. We ain't biting.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people do. They be going, saying this or saying that. Yeah. But definitely, man. All right, Mark. I'll see you on Wednesday, man.
All right, good night,
all right,
chat.
Peace. All right, Viv.
All right. My player of the game, I'm going to split it between two players. I'm going to give it to Frank, and I'm going to give it to Kevin Knox. I just like the way they both played, and I can't decide one over the other. So I'm going to give those two. And I would like to give an honorable mention to Noah Vonleh for having 9 assists tonight. And he had most of them through up into the third quarter. So he's my honorable mention.
Okay. All right. Any word on Trier and his?
You know what happened is it seemed like it must have happened during shoot around, and I don't know if it's a day. It looks like maybe it's just a day-to-day thing, but I'm not sure. I thought it could be some sort of conspiracy type of thing, but I think it's just day-to-day.
Day-to-day. What do you mean conspiracy? Like?
Well, I thought they just wanted to keep him out just in case,
contract stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Could be. But I thought about that as well. I thought about that too. You know what I mean?
But look, I didn't see it, and I know people that are in the game. I don't know what they saw or not. So he probably, if he was hurt, he was hurt. And, I don't think it was that serious. If it was that serious, they would have probably gotten an x-ray. And I don't think that's the case.
Yeah. Okay. But it was hamstring, though. I thought it was hamstring.
It was a hamstring, yeah. So, yeah, you wouldn't need an x-ray and that's the way per se. But I was like, say, it's probably more day-to-day than anything. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. And, all right, man. Viv, I'll see you Wednesday. It's definitely a spirited chat tonight.
Kareem brought some spirit. You just gotta relax a little bit. But it's cool to disagree. It's just you just gotta do it a little more civilly. That's all I ask for him.
Hey, we're some passionate people. I hear you though.
Behind the scenes, that's all. The thing you can't probably hear, but just, you just got to keep it a little civil, right?
Yeah. He said, he talked about it, apologized. So yeah.
He'll learn from him. He'll be cool. He should come back.
He's a cool dude, man. He knows some basketball. All right, Viv.
Cool, yeah. All right, man. I'll see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. All right, and Ernesto, you said that you tried to get into the chat before. Maybe I just missed you or whatever it is. Definitely get in it again, my man. Give it again. Get in it again. My bad. All right. And
yo,
you know what I wanted to save you for last though, is because I thought that your analogy was spot on. Some people in the chat was like, the analogies need to get better or whatever it was. I think you're spot on, right? You're right. You know what I mean? That's why second graders walk in the line to class or to the lunchroom or to the bathroom, because you're teaching them structure. You're teaching them how to do things in a structured way. And as they get older, you get into high school, you let them, they can do it. Now they can get a pass and go by themselves, because they're responsible enough to do it. Why are they responsible enough? Because they learned that structure at a younger age.
So that's how life works.
Exactly.
Like, even when you go to a new job, they just don't let you go and start doing anything.
Right.
Like, that's how life works. But it's just a lot of. First, I want to call somebody out, man. I was looking at the chat the whole night, man, and my brother, the Prince, was killing us all night.
I seen him. I seen Prince.
I don't know what's good with him. Prince was my guy.
Prince was
killing us all night.
He was cooking the chat.
Prince was encouraging the dudes that won't get up here. I'm like, dang, man. You don't want to be the king of that group. But encourage them to get up here, man.
I seen him.
Prince is my guy. Prince is my dude. But you got to encourage them to get up here and, get in the live chat. And, not just complain in the chat. Because they complain about who up here, but they don't get up here. So, I don't know if they're not confident enough or if they're scared. But, I would like to see them get in here. Like my guy, like my dude that was wilding tonight. But, even him, I love the energy.
Man.
Speaking of energy, that's why, I was so happy with Frank tonight, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Even that offensive foul that Bull called, how he went to the basket and threw his body into the dude, that's aggression. And I like that. And I gotta say, Mark been saying that for a minute. He want to see Frank be more aggressive, and that's an aggressive play I saw Frank make, and that was good to see. The passion, the pumping his fist, the clapping his hands, the encouraging his teammates. To me, that's that stuff is important, even more so than the points.
And let me say this: there's been a lot of times when Frank scored points, and people said, "Oh, he was aggressive," and really he wasn't aggressive. He just made the shots. Tonight he was aggressive, right? He was aggressively looking for his shot. You can see it in the speed in which he took the shots, right? There was no hesitation, no thought behind it. It was just instinctual, a little more instinctual. There's been other nights where Franks has scored, 12, 13, 14 points, and he wasn't any more aggressive. He just made the shots, but he wasn't aggressively looking for his shot. Tonight, I can say he was definitely more aggressive in looking for his shot in the second half. Right, baller for real. Right, in the second half, he was definitely more aggressively looking for his shot. He make it or miss it. He was he was definitive. I'm shooting it. That's it. I'm shooting the ball.
He wasn't thinking. It was catch and shoot. But yeah, and my last words, man. That was my last words, right? But Prince, man, he called me a troll, son. He called me a troll. So, that was my brother. But listen, man, I dare you to come up here and prove to me I'm a troll. I put up my basketball knowledge against yours any day of the week. Any day of the week. So if I'm a troll, prove it.
Well, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. It is a great thing that the chat was like this tonight, because this might be Prince. Look, I think he came up to challenge you.
Beautiful.
I think he came up to challenge you, and jeez. Uh-oh. Trying to get off. They can't. Uh-oh.
What up, troll?
What?
Troll.
What?
I'm a troll?
What?
Explain yourself, brother.
What? Bro, yeah, you became a troll when you said that filthy comment when I said about Ntlikina a couple chats ago. Talk about, I hate when fans get on the chat and talk about people ain't who they are when they really are. Man, Ntlikina is a chump. You a chump. Shout out not me, son. Shout out kids.
Oh, man.
Wait. Time out.
Hey.
The dude that just said Ntlikina is a chump called me a troll. Did I hear this? He just said Giannis is a chump, and they called me a troll.
He cried. He cried because he cried because he couldn't get the shot up at the end of the game, and they lost to us. So what are you talking about? They lost to us without no help. We don't got KP. We don't have no help. We got a bunch of trash, and he couldn't beat us in overtime. So what are you talking about? And he's supposed to be an MVP.
He's not a great player? So that means he's not a great player.
I never said that. I never said that. You respect him like he's God. You respect him like he's God. I told you what I said. We beat him without KP. So why do I respect Giannis? Why do I respect him? He still can't shoot a jump shot.
I'll repeat myself.
He still can't shoot a jump shot.
I'll repeat myself word for word, and you can check the receipts. I said I don't like when fans belittle the team we just beat. I said that's backwards to me. I said, if we beat a good team, don't then come in and say that team is not that good. That's stupid. It's dumb.
That was the point. I never said they wasn't good. The fact of the matter is I said we're trash, and they lost to us without KP. So what did I say?
Trash teams lose to good teams to the trash teams all the time in the NBA.
Like I said, like you said, like that's my point. It's too many. I see what KD says. Too many fanboys running around. Everybody want to be a fanboy. Stand 10 toes down, man, and say it with your chest, man. I ain't gonna keep this going all night long, Sim. Hey, shout out Sim. I'll be on the chat on Wednesday.
All right.
I ain't got nothing much to say. Shout out my real ones, D Grant, not me, son. My boy, Ralph Unreal. Hey, bro, we out here, man. I ain't even got nothing to say to this dude, Sim. I don't even want to talk no more.
He riding with all the trolls, man. All the trolls.
I don't even want to talk no more, man.
He riding with all the trolls.
All right, man. Well, you know what? On this note, I am logging off for the night. If y'all want to stay on there and talk, I'll let y'all stay on there and talk. I'm logging off for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that this was not staged. It was 100% natural. It just so happens, with everything going on in the chat tonight, it just so happens on the next show, I was putting out for people to sign up for that the debate tournament I told you about, right? I plan on putting on information for the next show for that debate tournament. So, you know what? I guess timing is just good, man. Timing just, it just happens that way sometimes. The next show, I will be providing a link. But if you want to jump in this debate tournament, we're going to set it up so that it's a straight up tournament. We're going to take 16 debaters. We're going to do record a video about each debater, and it's going to be fun, right? So, I put the link out. You guys can sign up if you want to sign up. We're going to take 16 of them. The first 16 is going to be, whoever gets to it first. That's it. But anyway, I'm out. It was a very good show tonight. Fun show. All right. Make sure you join us on Wednesday. You never know, man. Fireworks happen in the chat tonight. Have a great start to your week. I see you on Wednesday. Peace.